An election won by 98%, a nation drowned in fear. Opposition jailed, thousands missing, bodies buried in silence. Tanzania's post-poll SHAM has turned into a massacre. So how did a vote become one of East Africa's deadliest crackdowns? Police in Tanzania have arrested a senior opposition official after more than 200 people were charged with treason over a wave of protests against last month's general election. Opposition party Chadema said that its Deputy Secretary General, Amani Golugwa, was arrested early on November 8th. He is the third senior Chadema official in detention after leader Tundu Lissu and Deputy Leader John Heche were arrested before the October 29th vote. The arrest comes a day after more than 200 people were charged with treason for alleged involvement in the protests triggered by the disputed election.
More than 250 people were arraigned in 3 separate cases, and they're all charged with 2 sets of offenses. The first set of offenses is a conspiracy to commit treason, and the second set of offenses is treason itself.
President Samia Suluhu Hassan, who took office in 2021 after the death of her predecessor, won the poll with 98% of the vote, according to the Electoral Commission. But Chadema has branded the election a sham. National Electoral Commission said in a statement,
The government intended to cripple the party's leadership and paralyze its operations. Police were now targeting lower levels, with some being forced to confess to organizing demonstrations.
Police confirmed the arrest of Golugwa and 9 other people in connection with an investigation into the unrest, which saw security forces launch a crackdown on protesters. In a statement, the police said,
The police force, in collaboration with other defense and security agencies, is continuing a serious manhunt. Chadema's Secretary General John Maneka and the party's head of communications, Brenda Rupia, were on its wanted list.
Protests erupted on October 29th in the cities of Dar es Salaam, Arusha, Mwanza, and Mbeya, as well as several regions across the country. Over 40 African organizations have called for the prosecution of security officials for the alleged killings of approximately 3,000 people since the October 29th elections, as well as the immediate resignation of President Suluhu Hassan. According to a report released in Nairobi by the Jumuiya ni Yetu movement, which means the community is ours, the killings occurred after Tanzania's October 29th general election, which was marred by allegations of fraud, suppression, and an internet blackout. The Kenya Human Rights Commission, a watchdog group in the neighboring country, asserted that 3,000 people were killed, with thousands still missing. The group said their evidence includes photographs and videos that journalists can access. If confirmed, the deaths would make the unrest one of East Africa's deadliest political crackdowns in recent memory.
As of November 7, 2025, at least 3,000 people have been murdered by Tanzanian security forces, with thousands of people still missing. Amidst the ongoing attempted cover-up, facilitated by the continued internet blackout and bandwidth restrictions, this number could be thousands below the actual death toll. Hospitals were being guarded by police and intelligence agents who confiscated phones, deleted footage, and prevented relatives from identifying bodies.
The victims included protesters, street children, medical workers, and civilians uninvolved in the demonstrations, according to the statement. The Jumuiya ni Yetu movement report also alleged that the weapons used in the crackdown were imported by a close family member of President Suluhu, adding that they were military-grade arms not authorized for standard police operations. Tanzania's government is yet to respond, but authorities have previously dismissed similar claims and declined to release the death toll. Rights groups estimate hundreds of other bodies are still unaccounted for and may have been buried in mass graves. John Okoth Ogutu was from Kenya but had taught English at a private school in Dar es Salaam for 8 years. On election day, he took part in a meeting at the school where teachers agreed they would stay inside and away from the violence. Okoth's sister Celestine, recalling the devastating incident, told the Washington Post.
By the evening, though, the streets seemed calm, so Okoth and a friend went out to pick up dinner. Before they reached the market, police officers appeared and started shooting indiscriminately.
Celestine later heard from the friend. Okoth was hit and fell to the ground, along with other pedestrians. Okoth's body and 6 others were loaded into the back of a car and driven away, the friend told his family. Celestine doesn't know what to tell their mother.
She keeps asking me when the body is coming. He died with 2 pens in the front pocket of his shirt because he was just a teacher.
John Kitoka, a rights activist with Chadema, speaking with the Post, said, "The attendants had confirmed an influx of corpses at morgues spanning the country, in Mbeya, Dar es Salaam, Mwanza, Arusha, Songwe, and Iringa. There are still a lot of missing bodies." An engineering student was among 6 men fatally shot in a Dar es Salaam restaurant as they ate lunch on election day. His family, mindful of the growing unrest, had just given him bus fare so he could return home to stay with them. But he stopped to have a meal with friends on his way to the station. Witnesses told his brother he was shot in the head and chest by armed men in plainclothes.
When his brother went to recover the body from the nearest mortuary, he was refused access. Authorities were not releasing the dead because they know if they do, you will take a picture of the bullet wounds.
Maria Sarungi, a Tanzanian rights activist sharing her experience with the Post, said,
We are trying to get people mobilized and organize a national mourning day, so the authorities have to acknowledge the deaths and give back the bodies.
As families grieve in silence, activists say the fight now is not just for democracy, but for dignity.